Okay, for the project overview, our project is called Tax Time, which is a board game based on Chapter 3 of Personal Financial Planning. The main focus is tax planning. Tax planning is very important because it helps individuals understand how tax affect their financial life. By knowing the rules, we can reduce our tax liability legally while still fulfilling our duties as taxpayer. This project also helps us see how tax knowledge improve financial decision making. For example, when we know what kind of relief or exception are available, we can plan our expenses wisely, such as keeping receipt for education or medical costs. Through this game, we want to make tax learning more interactive, less boring, and more practical for students. Okay, next is project description. Chapter 3 explains how tax are linked to personal financial planning. Tax influence many parts of our lives such as income, saving, investment, and even retirement. The chapter shows the importance of knowing the different types of income and what is taxable. It also discusses exemptions, relief, and rebates that reduce our taxable income. It further explains monthly tax deduction or MTD, which deducted from our salary every month as advance payment. At the end of the year, we compare the total MTD with our actual tax assessment. If we paid too much, we can claim a refund. If we paid too little, we must pay the balance. Another important rule is record keeping, where taxpayer must keep receipt and document for 7 years. Finally, Chapter 3 highlights the difference between tax avoidance and tax evasion. Tax avoidance means using legal way like claiming relief, rebates, while tax evasion means hiding income or cheating, which is illegal. We took this concept and applied them to our board game Tax Time. The game starts when the player earns income and face monthly deduction. As they move around the board, they encounter spaces like as donation, rebate, medical receipt, check, or lost receipt. Penalty at the end, they must submit their income tax return. This shows whether they get a refund or need to pay more. Through this flow, the games help players practice tax planning in a fun way and simple way.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Now we're moving on objective and outcome. Objective: understand taxes, exemptions, deduction and tax relief. Apply knowledge. Use tax time to simulate tax filings and refunds. Promote teamwork. Work together to design a fun educational game. Make learning fun. Engage to interactive board games. Now we're moving on outcomes. Understand tax concept. Learn tax filing, recording, keeping and avoiding evasions. Develop teamwork skills. Improve collaboration and communications. Gain real-world understanding of tax planning and refunds. Now moving on project timeline. Week 1, objective: get familiar with tax planning concept. Study the concept from the tax planning chapter. Tax redemptions, type of income, tax relief, and the MTD systems. Assign role within the group. Example games design, research visual, and rules development. Discuss and brainstorm ideas for the board game. Tax time. What should the game includes and what are the key tax milestones to cover. Moving on week 2. Objective: design the board game structure. Finalize the game concept. Board layout, space, challenges like lost tax receipt and tax refund delay. Development the rules of the game, how the player progress. What happen if they land on the penalty space or earn reward space. Research real tax filing scenario to include in the game. Feelings, deadlines important of record keeping. Gather material for creating the game board, card and markers. Week 3. Make the game component, board, card and example. Write the instructions and text scenario. Create visual for the game. Now moving on project timeline. Week 4 and week 5. Week 4, objective: finalize the game and prepare presentations. Thus, test the game mechanic, play the game as a group to ensure the rules make sense and the flow is smooth. Tweak any issue with the game design, balance the games and rewards. Create a short video or demo to show how to play the game and how is teach tax planning. Week 5. Objective presents the board's game and submit the projects. Thus, finalize the presentations, slides and project documentations, including a summary of a tax planning concept covered in the game. Submit the project, game board, game material, documentation and reflections.
Okay, next is student contribution. For this project, each student contributed to different parts. Some members were responsible for researching Chapter 3 and also checking information for HDN to make sure our game follow real tax rules. Others work on the game design, such as creating the board, the rules, and the flow of the game. Another part of them handled the creative side, which included designing the cards, designing on penalties like loss receipt or rewards like education relief, and make sure the board was attractive. Some members prepared the presentation slides and explained how the game connect to Chapter 3. Finally, we test the game by playing it ourselves. This helped us improve the balance of the game and make sure it was fun but still educational. For example, one of my members created penalty cards about late tax filing, while another add real-life rebates like medical expenses or zakat contributions. All of us worked together to make the project successful.
Hi everyone! Our project is a tax planning board game called Tax Time. This game simulates the tax filing process. Players will experience earning, income, applying deduction, and claiming rebates, or going through tax assessment. The purpose of this board game is to make learning about tax filing more engaging and practical for students. It is directly linked to Chapter 3 Tax Planning, which covers record keeping, tax rebate, monthly tax deduction, and the consequence of non-compliance. Also, the gameplay flow starts with income earned and monthly deduction. Then, players face challenges like donation rebates, medical receipt checks, or loss receipt. At the end, they must submit their income tax return and either claim a refund or pay the shortfall. So through this game, student learns the importance of record keeping, the difference between tax avoidance and tax evasion, and how to make informed tax decisions. Now, moving on to the visual and media. Our game board follows a path from income to deduction, rebates, assessment, and finally refund or payment. We also design challenge cards such as lost tax receipt, that means miss a turn, second tax refund delay, move back 2 steps, and medical claim approved, move ahead 3 steps. Next, we include question card based on Chapter 3. For example, how many years must tax record be kept? The answer is 7 years. Or, what happens if MTD is greater than tax assessed? The answer is refund claim. And for the visual, we use Canva to create a colorful board with icons for receipt, money, and tax refund. Spaces are color-coded green for benefit and red for penalties. To support the learning, we can also include an infographic on the tax filing process and even a short demo video to show how the game works. So in the summary, this board game uses both documentation and visual to make tax learning interactive and fun.
Reflection and lesson learned. Throughout this project, we also learned a lot about teamwork. We improved our communication, time and management, and collaboration skills. By dividing tasks according to each member's strengths and to workload become more balanced and efficient. Of course, we face some challenges, especially in finding the most updated tax information, and also when trying to coordinate our schedules for group meeting. To overcome this, we made use of online resource, WhatsApp, and Google Drive to share files and stay connected. This experience taught us the importance of flexibility and cooperation in completing group work successfully. Future improvement. For future projects, these are a few areas we believe can be improved. First, we could include real-life case studies of taxpayers to make the project more practical. Second, we can invite or interview a tax consultant to gain more expert insight. We also suggest adding interactive elements such as a quiz or a simple tax calculator to make the presentation more engaging. Lastly, we plan to improve the video quality with better editing tools and visual to make our content more professional and impactful. In conclusion, this project has shown us that tax planning is a very important part of personal financial planning. Proper tax planning helps individuals manage their income, reduce tax liability, and maximize their savings. Overall, this assignment not only increased our understanding of tax efficiency but also improved our teamwork and problem-solving skills. We believe that the knowledge we have gained will be very useful both academically and in real-life financial management. Thank you.